Sunny Funes.
Matt Hamilton.
Ian Tully.
Ben Rowe.
Cardinal Points.
Cardinal Points.
Cardinal Points.
Cardinal Points.
I am the opinions editor currently at the paper. I manage the opinions section, which is A6 and 7 of Cardinal Points, and I'm basically responsible for editing the content of letters to the editor, columns in the paper, and my own personal recurring column, Word to the Wise.
I'm in charge of writing the news briefs out for each week. It's basically the events and stuff going on campus that students can attend and stuff. And I'm also in charge of like essay, covering the essay beat, going to essay meetings every week, and usually covering the topics going on with essay.
As the editor-in-chief, I suppose it's my job to be the face of the newspaper, that if anyone outside the newspaper has any issues with it, they come to me and we work those out. At the same time, any internal issues, I also handle those, so any disputes between staff. And basically oversee the final product of the newspaper. Like, my eyes are the last ones that see the pages before they head out, so just making sure everything is finalized, and that's, again, basically management.
So I figured just like a...
Monday through Friday, it's like a continuing building up process and then winding down process. The winding down process is much quicker than the building up. Monday is our e-board meeting and our general staff meeting. We meet and put together a budget for a week in advance.
On Tuesday, we begin the layout of the newspaper, laying out where everything is going to go.
It's kind of the precursor for the Wednesday night, Thursday night rush of putting together the final product that everyone sees on Friday morning.
We are literally a newspaper that is run from the bottom to the very top to our editor-in-chief, is run completely by students.
Our biggest accommodation is being accepted in the ACP Hall of Fame, which is in the top 55 student newspapers in the country. So out of, I believe it is hundreds, if not thousands of papers around the country, we are in the top 55 of those. Along with that, over the different years, we've placed in All-American, so we've been rated one of the top student newspapers in the country.
There have been plenty of controversies in the police blotter involving when people go and Google their names, sometimes what comes up is if they were in college and charged with a possession of marijuana or something, or an open container violation, then they're charged in Plattsburgh, city court. We
get the blotter through the university police. They maintain the blotter. In fact, if you go down to the university police, there's a binder right by the desk that you ask that has all the listings available for people to see.
We have to print it. And some people don't like it. Some people say, well, I got the charges were dismissed, but it still doesn't change the fact that they were charged in the first place. And that's all we're really saying. We're not saying, we never follow up and say, unless it was a particularly heinous crime, we never say they were charged of driving while intoxicated and found guilty and sentenced to probation. Like, we don't air out their dirty laundry, but if you do get in trouble, we do print it.
There was a time back in when Cardinal Points was founded, there was obviously a club through the school. But since then, we have become separate from the school, and thus they maintain no editorial content or control over us. They cannot say, you cannot publish this because it looks bad in the school. We can publish basically whatever we want.
At one point, we covered a fire that was in McDonough Hall, and the Student Association did not want us to print it, but we did anyway. And them's the breaks. We're allowed to do everything that a real newspaper is allowed to do.
It's unique that it's taken so seriously, that we are a serious organization, and some students don't quite understand when they sign up that this is a national newspaper, that this is nationally acclaimed newspaper, and it has ramifications of what you do on this newspaper affects a lot of people. Now that can sound frightening for some people, but at the same time it can also be a very passionate pursuit, is that you can think, wow, this is really important while working on for this.
A lot of editors don't leave the office until the wee hours of the morning. Some do not leave at all. I have spent entire nights in this office trying to make sure that the paper goes out on time, and it usually does. There's never been a time that the paper has not gone out on Friday. We take pride in getting it out.